welcome everybody to episode number 3 of Anthony's List. The first episode without Joe anywhere around. Yes, I know, I'm in his house. It's so quiet. Wonderful. No cursing, no backtalk, no nothing. I love it. Oh, God. Bliss. Heavenly bliss! But enough about Joe. He's gone and dead. I think he's dead. Who cares? This is the first episode of Anthony's List where it's from For Your Amusement Television. This episode is very special to me. Coming up very soon, within a month or so, is going to be the very brand new legendary Godzilla movie. I'm so excited about this. I love sci-fi and I love monsters. To think that they're making this another American Godzilla movie, it's gotta be better than what Matthew Broderick was in. Oh dear God. In honor of this new film, I have decided to make my next list my top 10 favorite Godzilla monsters. Because what makes a Godzilla movie than the monsters? His enemies, his foes, and friends, allies. All those monsters are what make these movies so great. So here is my top 10 favorite Godzilla monsters. Megaone's a little different than other monsters. He's controlled by humanoids from the underworld city of Seatopia. What a stupid name for an underworld city, Seatopia. Anyway, there are a bunch of people who dress in togas. That's pretty hot. Anyhow, Megalon's like a giant beetle-like creature, where his arms are like these drills. They get together and he can do this drill. Also, he's got this horn on his head that shoots lightning, and he also has projectile napalm bombs that come out of his mouth. It's pretty yeah, awesome. Sorry, had a lapse of judgment there. Moving on! Biollante, the first and only plant monster, is a combination in DNA of Godzilla, a rose bush, and a human being, believe it or not. The spirit of Emiko. I believe it's Emiko Yamane? No, not Yamane, but Emiko is their name. Combined to make this gigantic monster. At first, it's not so great a creature. It has some vines and these Venus flytrap arms, but at the end of the movie, it grows into this gigantic, more Godzilla-like creature. Its mouth is huge. It has rows and rows and rows of teeth inside. Oh my God. It's bigger than Godzilla, and each of its mouths, both the tentacle ones and the large ones, sprays acid. Acid! That is so cool. Oh my God. I didn't say it this time. Moving on. Anguirus is the first monster to ever show up alongside Godzilla in the very second Godzilla movie, Godzilla Raids Again, or Gigantus the Fire Monster. It's not really all that special, but I really love him because he doesn't rely on some sort of blasting weapon. He's an all-melee monster. He goes around on all fours. He kind of looks like an ankylosaurus, except with spikes on his shell. He relies on tooth and claws, mostly, to fight. He took on King Ghidorah and Gigan, two incredibly powerful monsters. So we gotta give him some props. Not only that, in the newer movies, he's able to curl up like an armadillo and spin with that spiked shell he came in like a wrecking ball. I know, I'm dope, but hey. Moving on! Hendra, also known as the Smog Monster. Here is one beast of a monster. He really only showed up in one movie, though he made a special appearance in Final Wars. He could definitely have an entire another movie. He's that beastly, he's that powerful. He showed up first as just this little tadpole of a monster, destroying tankers and sucking up the oil from them. By sucking up pollution and joining with more littler Hendras, he grows into the next form, which kind of looks like more of a frog. He's able to go on land then, and he was sucking smoke from smokestacks to get stronger. And that's the first time he took on Godzilla. Unfortunately, he wasn't very strong, so he lost that fight, but he was able to get away. After that, he turns into a flying saucer-like thing. He can fly, and he's spewing out smog as retrojets, you know? It poisons everything around it, killing hundreds of people. They just collapse and turned into bones. And finally, he turns into a more Godzilla-looking creature. He's able to spit sludge, can still turn into the UFO, and he has these like laser eye beams that are devastating. If they had the more I want to say the computer graphics that we have today, they could have made Godzilla as a smog monster a heck of a lot better. Because they could have the smog monster moving like he was sludge instead of just a guy in a suit. I think that would be pretty awesome. They should do that. SpaceGodzilla is, well, it was just this crystal that combined with some Godzilla DNA that came from either Biollante or off of Mothra, and got sucked into a black hole and combined to create this all-powerful monster. He looks almost exactly like Godzilla, except he's got crystals instead of spines, plus 2 gigantic crystals on his shoulders, which he uses these to fly and to use telekinesis to move objects. He also, instead of Godzilla's radioactive breath, he has this beam that he can control where it goes. So it like loop-de-loops all over the friggin' place and can hit whatever he wants. He's virtually immortal because he created these energy spires that he used to heal himself and to keep himself powerful. But take those out and you got him. So that's why he's less than halfway on the list. Destroyer! Or Destroyer, if you want to say the English version of it. But the Japanese translation is Destroyer. So I'm going to use that. This Destroyer was created when the Oxygen Destroyer, which killed the first Godzilla, woke up this pre-Cambrian life form. And I guess because of Godzilla's radiation that was there as well, mutates it and allows it to grow powerful. At first, it's all these bunch of littler ones that humans can take on, but they combine together to create this all-powerful Destroyer. His main weapons are this beam. I believe it's an oxygen beam. Kind of like. I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's just really powerful and can destroy almost everything. It, like, melts it. It's that powerful. And then, also, he's got a horn, which he used, like, this horn, I want to say laser. It kind of glows and slashes things with it, which causes devastating damage to Godzilla. Like, scars him up and everything. I think if they didn't give him that kind of history, they could use him in a lot of other different Godzilla films. So, here's a thought for the future. Gigan, one of my favorite monsters. He's kind of like Megalon in that he doesn't have hands, he has hooks instead. But he's not just a monster, he's a cyborg created by space aliens. His cry is very raspy and mechanical sounding, and he only has one eye. That's pretty awesome, this big red eye that he shoots lasers out of. At least, that's what he's originally supposed to do. But they didn't do that in the original form. They only did that in the more recent Final Wars. But he also has the buzzsaw in his abdomen area that spins, and he can cut through things with that. And of course, also in the recent Final Wars movie, they changed his arms, that they became chainsaws as well. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Godzilla. Who can have a Godzilla list without Godzilla? Do I really need to explain him to you guys? He's a dinosaur that got hit by a nuclear radiation and transformed into Godzilla. And he heals himself, fires a radioactive breath. I don't think anything else needs to be said. Mechagodzilla. There are 3 forms of Mechagodzilla, and I wish I had the time to tell you all about them. I'll just give a brief summary of them. The first one was created by aliens from space titanium. His main weapons are laser eyes, missiles out of his fingers and knees, and his belly button opens up and shoots this little red laser thing. Yeah, his belly button. Belly blaster! He's a Care Bear. The next Mechagodzilla was created by the UNGCC to combat Godzilla, of course. His main weapons are laser eyes, he has a mouth blast like Godzilla, he has shock anchor cables that come out of his arms that, when they dig into Godzilla, they shoot electricity into his body, and also his armor is diamond-coated, absorbs Godzilla's radiation, and using what he calls the energy grenade, which also comes out of his belly button, shoots the blast back at Godzilla at about 100 times normal force that Godzilla shot it at him. So it's very devastating. And the final Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, named Kiryu, I don't know too much about him, but he moves a lot slicker. Like, he's not as much of a robot as he is a cyborg of sorts, because he was created from the bones of the original Godzilla. I can't remember his weapons offhand. But he just has a lot of them, and all Mechagodzillas can fly. We can't forget that, so that gives him a one-up on Godzilla. But my favorite one is the second one, so... And finally, my favorite monster. King Ghidorah, the 3-headed golden dragon. Sure, he has no arms, but who needs arms when you have 3 heads? Seriously, he makes do. He's tall, he's bigger than Godzilla, and each head shoots a golden lightning bolt. That's so powerful. Oh my god. Ugh. Instead of using his arms to hold things, he just bites on it with one of his heads, you know? That's the way he got Godzilla into a stranglehold. He held his arms with 2 heads, and he took the middle head and wrapped it around Godzilla's neck. Holy shit. He's been in several movies, and has been created several different ways. The original King Ghidorah was just a space monster, but in the newer High Sea series, he was created by people from the future. 3 door rats were left on the island where Godzilla was originally created, and got hit by a nuclear blast, and they combined to make King Ghidorah. And the more recent King Ghidorah was an ancient dragon, which they called the 1,000-year dragon, I believe it was, that was supposed to have 10 heads, but he was woken up early, so he only had 3. So that's my list of my favorite monsters, but for a quick little thing that I decided to do, here's my 5 most hated Godzilla monsters. These are the weakest and stupidest monsters that they never should have created. I'm not even going to talk about them, I'm just going to have a quick little rundown through it. But they are number 5, Jet Jaguar, number 4, King Caesar, number 3, Minya, aka Baby Godzilla, Number 2, Zilla, the first American-made Godzilla. And number 1, Mothra. So that's my top 10 favorite Godzilla monsters. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out the new legendary Godzilla film when it comes out on May 16th. That's going to be awesome. Be sure to watch this video, like it, share it. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Oh yeah, and let's not forget to DK no like bitches.